to pressure the Black Ferns. They did in 1991, where they were beaten by 24 points to 6. As they now make their way out into the stadium, all the training, all the commitment, all the dedication to wear the jersey of their country has now come to fruition. And now we get a chance to see these two wonderful sides will await the respected national anthems. New Zealand, Mana Aki Tia Mai, Aotearoa, God Defend New Zealand. And then, of course, the Welsh national anthem, Land of My Fathers.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthems of New Zealand. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain upstanding for the national anthem of Wales.
As with New Zealand national teams, we now await the challenge, the traditional haka.
Such a good Fabulous to watch that haka ko uhia mai. It's about who the Black Ferns are, and it references the 3 goddesses of Māori mythology. And Willie Lowe say there's plenty of rugby goddesses in the lineup for the Black Ferns.
Certainly is. Have a look at this team sheet that we're going to see. The New Zealanders first, and well, there is a very strong forward pack. Of course, their captain has played in 3 World Cups. In fact, she's played in 4 World Cups, making her debut in 2002. Savage, Goss and Smith make up a very, very healthy loose forward trio. And really, the damage for me is in the New Zealand backs. That's where all the tries will be scored. And keep an eye on the 3 Ws that wear jerseys 11, 15 and 14. Wycliffe, Winiata and Portia Woodman in her 12th cap. She's already scored a number of tries, and in 2015 she was World Rugby's World Sevens Player of the Year. As for Wales, well, they come in with plenty of experience as well. There's a couple of 30-year-olds in their forward pack, in particular Carly Thomas, who was at the 2010-2014's World Cup from the Scarlets club. She is an inclusion manager and will give plenty of grunt to that front row. And Shawned Hardies is one player, the PE teacher at number 8, and what a backline. It's full of youth and it's full of enthusiasm, and in particular Jasmine Joyce, the 21-year-old who represented Great Britain in 2016 at the Olympic Games, and they finished 4th. Good lineup from both benches as well, so plenty of class for them to call on when needed. And the game certainly has become 23 players.
Okay, New Zealand, time on Ireland.
Referee Ian Tempest says let's get underway, and the Rugby World Cup for the women in 2017 has started. New Zealand with first possession. Coxedge gets it one wide, and here comes Savage. Straight away, the big number 8 wanting to get her hands on the ball. From the right, they move it to the left now. Out to Woodman, giving Woodman a chance to go one-on-one. Great defence coming in from Wales. In particular, Ellen Evans got it really close and quickly to shut that down, Mel.
Woodman doesn't have as much space as she does in sevens, but physically she's able to handle that. That was a win for Wales, so pushing her over the sideline. Lovely run there from Savage. They'll be doing these one-off runners all day, so Wales must take care of that. But look at that beautiful low tackle there from Evans, textbook.
First line out. And a Wales feed. They throw it to the back of the line out. Good take there from Taylor. Rachel Taylor, one of the more experienced players in this Welsh team. And now they look to just maul it forward. Obviously, they've had a look at the tapes of how England did so well in New Zealand. To the backs they come. Here comes Jones on an angled run. Good clean out from the forwards. Options both left and right. Bevan decides to come out to the left. And now the forwards asked to carry it through. Rowe does a good job. Again to the left they go, and again they get up and over the advantage line through Evans. Good carry from the tight head prop. 5 phases, Wales holding on to possession and doing a good job getting into the New Zealand half. Again, it's Bevan. This time some decoy runners, and they bring up Holwell from fullback now, looking to get it to Jasmine. Joyce on the outside, good tackle coming in from Wycliffe, and New Zealand get the penalty.
Oh, Wycliffe did very well there. I thought Joyce, she gave her a little bit too much space. Joyce had a good run. That was excellent from Wales. I talked about that ruck and run rugby. As soon as they get possession, they build really nicely, and that was an example of that. Black Ferns, well, they did well to get the ball back.
And Mel in this Welsh team, and they got some veterans that have been around a wee while, and they've been to a couple of World Cups as well. Taylor and Thomas in the forward pack, as long with their captain Phillips. And of course Hardies, 4 of them having been to the World Cup in 2014. Now the first line out for New Zealand. They spend a lot of time on these set pieces. That's been overthrown, wasn't straight.
Have to nail the basics there, New Zealand. Firstly, the ball was slightly overthrown because it went over Wood's head. Cleaned up at the back, but crooked.
Okay, that's black mark, please.
See, there's just a little bit of a spin on the ball that made it go crooked there.
5 man. Open, please. Open.
Short lineouts from both teams so far.
Phillips. The daughter of the head coach throws the ball. A lovely throw it is. And they get it into Taylor again. She's been good in the lineouts. They've got some forwards standing out in the backs, and one of them is Hurries. Shawnette Hurries goes into the contact close to the halfway line. And the ref says it's held up. Turnover.
Yeah, give that to Victoria Sabretsky Nafatali, the number 10, and also aided by Sarah Goss, New Zealand's captain. There she is there. Sabretsky Nafatali, very, very strong. Check this out. Goes in with Goss on the right-hand side, targets the ball. Brilliant from both.
Good attacking opportunity for New Zealand. They've sent all of the backs out to the left to give some space out to the right where Salika Winiata stands alongside Portia Woodman. Yet suggests that this ball has got to go right. There's plenty of space and there's two players that know how to finish.
Stand up.
Yes, but look at the defensive system there from Wales. They've actually loaded on that left-hand side. They've got 3 on 2. Just 2 on the left hand, so if New Zealand looks up and assesses that, they might change the side they go to.
Spot on, Mel. New Zealand have got the advantage on the left-hand side with numbers here because there aren't too many defending for the Welsh. Out on the right-hand side for them. There you can see just the 2 defenders. New Zealand have 4 players, and that's what they might look to do here.
Far side. Far side's gone down.
Yeah, sometimes you're tempted just to play out the move that you called. But if you look at what's in front of you, you can change it last minute, and that is the mark of a great team if they're able to do that.
Salika Winiata has scored 145 points in her impressive career of 27 caps. The fullback for New Zealand has scored 145 points, I mentioned, and she was the top try scorer alongside Shakira Baker in the 2014 World Cup, or 6. Will they go to the right or the left? They come out to the left. They've got the numbers. Now they give it out to Brazier. She takes it to the line, gives it to Walker. Walker straight away out to Wycliffe. Oh, and their strong defence again from Wales. They really have turned up to play, this Welsh team today.
Yeah, that defence was excellent. They slid across. They had the disadvantage for numbers. Good little ball there from Coxedge. It was good, classic, basic play there from New Zealand, just straight running. They ran out of space there. Wycliffe just bundled over.
Jasmine Joyce. Hard to believe she's just 21 years old with the maturity of how she read that situation. But Wales, the line-out has worked well. They've won 2 from 2, make it 3 from 3. And it's that combination between Taylor and Phillips, but 2 players were in front of the player that caught the ball.
Clear obstruction.
And now the penalty here to New Zealand. Have a look at this.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that your blockers who have lifted up the player are not in front when she brings it to the ground. That is obstruction. But you can see they're looking to use that rolling maul against New Zealand. It's a great ploy to use against them.
And Victoria Sablitsky Nafatali. Here we go. They're after points today. In fact, all sides will be looking to try and score as many tries as they can.
Make sure the ball at the front plays on the contact.
There is a little bit of a breeze out there. That will affect when you throw in the ball to the back of the line out.
Full line out for New Zealand, and it's to the middle that they go. Wales get up and contest. They bounce it back to where Bevan has it. Now Wales, all hands on deck. So line out a problem for New Zealand, and this is the first game for them.
We gathered.
Around the side goes Taylor, and that's what the New Zealanders were asking about, whether she balked, but now they ask the forwards. This is energy zapping. Just time to get Bevan back in position. She'll look to kick with her right foot. Just in the field of play, Wycliffe gets it straight to Winiata along the chain to Woodman. Woodman on one of those arcing runs, throws the dummy, now tries to get on the outside of Howell. Woodman! Portia Woodman back to Winiata! First try of the World Cup. And Salika Winiata does it, but put it down to the class of Portia Woodman.
This is a signature of New Zealand teams, isn't it? The ability to counter-attack from that ball that was kicked. Wycliffe moved it into the middle, and Woodman, there were 3 defenders there. She stopped and started, and she had the gas to get on the outside. And then Winiata, the support line down the middle. Wonderful, delightful to watch.
Takes her toll to 150 in her career, and Winiata, she just knows how to find her way to the try line. A policewoman in New Zealand, and there is the delight from the Black Ferns. It's taken them over 8 minutes to get on the scoreline. And the Kia Toa player from Manawatu in her 28th cap opens the New Zealand account. And speaking of class, World Rugby's Women's Player of the Year in 2015. And of Christchurch University, the Women's Rugby Development Officer, who has scored 163 points in her career. Kendra Coxedge looks to try and take it out to 7.
Yeah, that was a tough one to try and get over. So New Zealand show how dangerous they are with hardly any of the pill. And you cannot give this woman any space whatsoever. So dangerous. Gee, that was a little bit of a line ball. Could have been forward, but points given. New Zealand in front.
Perfect, thank you.
Nice high restart from Snowsill, but it's taken in. The hard-working forwards for New Zealand. Coxedge gets the ball, and here they go again. Using the one-off runners. It's Savage on that occasion. Now back out to where Sabritsky Nafatali is held up. Wales look like they're looking to try and turn it over there. The counter-ruck's a good one. Coxedge eventually gets the ball and gets it one wider. Out to where Wood, Becky Wood wears jersey 5, but here comes Etunu. Aladora Etunu. He's done really well to get over the advantage line, and now out to Brazier. They've got some players here. Allowed it goes to Winiata, one wider to Wycliffe. Wycliffe steps on the inside. Now gets the Fenn going. There's Rene Wycliffe.
No, red gone!
New Zealand go into enemy territory again, and now it's backs and forwards working in tandem.
Advantage too late.
They'll get the advantage here.
Penalty advantage
From
too
player
late.
offside, and Wycliffe throws the dummy. They'll come back for the penalty.
Offside too late.
Good passage of play for the New Zealanders after 8 phases.
Yeah, just look at the pattern
Offside,
they're running
not
out there. They're doing about 3 or 4 hit-outs with those big forwards. Etunu before, that was some great meters, wasn't it? She hit it right on the advantage line, something that the Welsh team are not doing. They're sitting quite deep in the pocket, so quite a different style of attack from both of these sides that we're seeing so far. And of course, New Zealand, after about 4 phases, are trying to unleash it to those backs.
Well, there is Becky Woods, who turned 30 yesterday, so happy birthday for yesterday. The firewoman from East Coast Bays. That's her career when she's back home.
Just have a quick chat now if you can. Just positive action in attack, one ball. So down here, just make sure we're coming in the breakdown. Taking off. Not going straight to the floor for me, okay? Make sure we're arriving up so we're not sealing off or off feet. Positive action.
So just a little bit of a pause here as we check up on an injury.
My apologies too, it's not Blackwell that's in 4, it's actually Becky Wood, who was 30 yesterday. Yes, Mel, her locking partner there, she is in jersey 5. She's the firewoman. Plays for the East Coast Bays team. British born, and she impressed the coach so much in the 2 caps during that quad series that you were working on, Mel. She's a great worker, isn't it? She's got a great work ethic, and she attributes a lot of the stuff that she does at work to what she does at rugby. Well,
you know, some of our great black ferns like Rochelle Martin were firewomen, and the amount of fitness work that those people do, unreal. And what I like about Becky Woods is that she's played her way into this team to start after hardly having any rugby in her career. I mean, that is so impressive. There are a couple of athletes like that. Rugby is a perfect sport for athletes from other sports, and we're seeing so many more of them switching over to this fantastic code.
There is Melissa Clay.
Front man's on the mark, please.
She's a games designer.
Please, Holly. Okay, good to go or not? If not, she goes, please, okay? Thank you.
Thankfully, she's okay, and she'll take her
please,
place
Kevin.
in the line-out.
How many, please, Black? Numbers? How many?
New Zealand
Full line called.
had the penalty. They went for the line-out. Earlier in a similar position and didn't get it right, but on this occasion they'll look to try and maybe get it to the middle. In fact, they go to the front and bring it down.
Ball to the front, ball is at the front.
Comes word it was Blackwell that won the line out. Now Coxedge gets it. Running from an angle of outside in comes the first 5, Sabritsky Nafatali. Needs some support, and now it's released on the ground. Again, it's cleared out to the right. This is Goss, the New Zealand Sevens captain. Carries the ball, the pick and go. I think it was Etunu.
Tackle and move first. Tackle and
They're
move.
offside. Points available, Mel. Do you take the easy ones?
Well, I'd say so. We've got a very accurate kicker there in Coxedge. She's right there in front.
Scrum.
But no, they've gone for the scrum. This is ambitious. Loving it. Just have a look at where that penalty was made. Just a leg coming over and just making that ball quite messy for New Zealand. There's Goss. Good body position going in. 3 tacklers. Now there it is there, the penalty. They've loaded every single player on the right-hand side, have the Black Ferns here.
Crouch.
Thomas, Phillips and Evans, the front row for Wales up against Natua, Farmasili and Etunu for New Zealand. Solid set from the Black Ferns as they get the ball to the back. Savage controls it. Now Coxedge wants to go out to the right. The crossfield kick, the kick pass, bounces up. And good defensive work coming in from Ellen Evans. Most experienced in their side, and Wales wanting to get on with the game, wanting to play with pace. They've got the wind, and that's a nice kick out of the 22. Back to where Winiata gets the ball, throws it out to where Wycliffe gets it. That's the halfway mark that you can see. Coxedge out to Savage. First up tackle's been made from Wales. There's been no problem with their defence as far as that goes. Etunu gets it off to the captain, Farmasili, who played in 2006, 2002, 10, 14, and now here. Her 5th World Cup. She becomes the 2nd Black Fern to do so. Etunu on this occasion takes it in herself. So just trying to wear out the forwards here, asking them to do some big defence. The offload from Blackwell to Savage. Goss at first receiver. Now they use some decoy runners. Here comes Sabritsky. Nafatali breaks through. Nafatali! And now goes into the backfield. Goss is there. The offload. Wonderful forwards and backs combining. Natua is taken. New Zealand 7 short, and they'll get the penalty. And what about the work from Sabritsky Nafatali?
She is so hard to take down, trust me. So big and powerful, a very unusual physique, you'd say, for a number 10, but she can move. She's got balance. Look at that. 1, 2 tacklers fall off, and another. The fend came in. A bit of footwork. Goss was on her shoulder, back on the inside too. And that's where the high tackle came in. They went to the front last time, New Zealand. That's because their long throws to the back weren't working. It was a good option. Let's see what they do here.
In you come. In you come. You must form the line first. You're not in and jump. In.
Approaching the 15-minute mark of the first half here in this game. New Zealand in the black, Wales in the red. Again, it's Blackwell that brings it down. This time they sack it and they go straight to ground. Wales have done magnificently because she was isolated.
Oh, no.
And this is a tremendous job from the Welsh defence.
There you can play.
Yeah, have a look. There's the sack there. Absolutely brilliant. And Blackwell fell on the wrong side. She couldn't get the ball back on her side of the ruck. So Wales, well done indeed. New Zealand might have to look for an off-the-top ball at some point because they're getting done in that area.
It was Amy Evans, the 26-year-old tight head prop, that had all rights to the ball. And you won't be surprised at all, Mel, but she's a gym owner, so you're not going to shift her too easy. Said she loves the weight training, loves the weight lifting, and just exploited it there beautifully. Wales, they're prepared to go to the back, and they win it through Taylor. She's been a real star for them, but she's lost it forward. Farmasili gets it out to Sabritsky Nafatali, the offload. Etunu was standing out in the back line. Here come the Black Ferns, the kick pass now across to where Woodman's standing. They go up in the air and compete. No call for the mark, but I think there is a penalty. Challenge in the air was dangerous, and Ellen Evans take a bow.
Yeah, I think the execution of the kick pass isn't working for the Black Ferns, but it's great that they're trying it. Love the ingenuity. Look there, Etunu, she sacked, it went to her captain. Another good offload. Great leap in the air. Slika Winiata, she's the one that was penalised. She pulled out, which was good because you have to be very mindful of keeping people safe.
And they've got on with it, the kick, and now it is down to Winiata. Stand by. You got to make sure that you're chasing and tackles are made. This time they get her. They look to try and clear out. Wales look interested in the steal from Phillips. New Zealand still in possession. Goes back to Blackwell. Forwards arrive and clean out. Farmer's Silly says, follow me. And now it's Wood.
Tackle, release, release.
Now they've got to release. Ball appears for the New Zealanders.
God, take a step. God, take a step.
There is Kendra
Advantage
Coxedge
offside.
saying that she wants the forwards to take it one wider, and they'll get the penalty here. Out to the right they come. Goss gets it quickly out to Winiata. Lovely read from Evans. Well, Elan Evans has been outstanding on that left wing.
Captain,
Has
please.
read the situation, and she's one of the older
Captain.
members of the team and playing in her 69th cap, so you'd expect that.
Too many penalties
Someone
now.
who's been at 2 World Cups in the past.
Ask the guards to take a step,
Yeah,
I have no response.
there's the
If they make the
offside.
tackle, it's a
You can
penalty.
see there that the number 6 for Wales, she
No,
wasn't
no.
at the
We need to
last
introduce our penalty card.
man's
The players
foot
make it
at the
in the
back of
field
that ruck, and that's why she got penalised. But as you mentioned before, Evans, she's cutting down the space as the player gets the ball, and that's key when you're marking these kind of backs.
In 1991, New Zealand won 24-6, and well, she can't find the touchline, so they're going to get a chance to come all the way back
Option.
to where it was kicked, all of 22. It's their choice
Option,
for Wales.
Scrum back, 22. Scrum, thank you. Back and go for scrum.
Some unforced errors, and you'd expect that on day one in this competition.
Well, maybe not if you've had a lot of test matches building into this, and Wales probably get more international test rugby than New Zealand. New Zealand have just 11 since the last World Cup. So you can expect it in that
Ball doesn't
respect, is
come
that
in
they're
till
not
we're
used
stable.
to playing at this kind of level very often.
Plenty of missed tackles from Wales, though. Spoke about them making their first up tackles initially, but on the screen in front of me it says 38 missed,
Crouch.
14 from the New Zealanders.
Bind. Set.
And that's tackles made, rather, not
Wait.
missed, that's tackles made. The missed ones are 10 by the Welsh, so they have missed 10. New Zealand yet to miss a tackle. And they go off the back here, hurries, sees the open side flanker and Goss, and
Come
goes
off,
back
Brad,
into
come
where
off.
the contact is.
It's
Slowly
your
it
player,
comes
it's your
back
player.
to Bevan. Now she clears it. Good run that from Butchers. Again, they look to go out to the right, and on this occasion, Snowsill has kicked it out on the full, so they'll come back to where she's kicked it from. That's the first real error from the Welsh in the opening 19 minutes of this game.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of the possession in the last, I guess, 9 or 10 minutes or so. Just see how she's sitting quite deep in the pocket
Brad.
to give herself a little bit of space to get that kick away.
How many black?
But it went off the
5.
side of the boot, it looked like.
Plenty of meters made by New Zealand as well, but their line out is not working well. But this person is, it's Thomas, the loose head prop. Sees the ball there and gets it.
Come back. She's legal. She's legal. It's a not straight, so you've got an option. Scrum or line.
Well, you can hear it there from the referee that there was
Scrum
no
or
real
line, not
advantage
straight, no
from the
advantage.
initial knock forward, so we'll come back
Sorry?
for the scrum to
Line
Wales.
out cold. Wait, none of that, please.
So this is the third line out that New Zealand have lost. It's
Put them on that mark.
an area they really need to
Thanks.
improve.
How
Just
many
giving
men?
a ball away, but you know, a good pick up at the back
Numbers.
there by Thomas.
5,
That's exactly
5.
the role you need to have at the back. You've always got to be
10.
looking for that overthrow.
She is 10.
Taylor has been the target. The tall frame of the loose forward. This time she moves there and taps it back. They get the ball again from the line out. So
Advantage, knock on.
that'll put a smile on the face of Roland Phillips, their coach. Bevan gets it out a little bit wider of the channels, and you can see now Wales are looking to try and go a little bit more expansive. Bevan gets it out to Snowsill, one to at the back line into it. Here comes Hannah Jones, just 19 years
Lead
old,
now, 10.
the student from
Advantage,
Gloucester
over, knock
Hutbury. And here is Taylor, who done so well to win the ball, and gets it out to Evans. Evans gets shut down from Woodman. New Zealand look for the steal through Goss, but they can't get their hands on the ball here. Wales, the pop pass out to where Huddies. She's been good, the number 8 for Wales in the contact area. They've got some players out here, Wales, and they're looking to try and get the ball into the hands of Jones, and then a lovely angle. Big hit from Wycliffe.
Yeah, thanks, we've got that.
That just rattles her opposite in Joyce, and now picked up from Brazier.
Knock-on advantage.
The knock-on advantage. Here goes Zabriskie Nafatali. She throws the miracle ball out. Now the razzle-dazzle from New Zealand. Into the arms of Wood.
Tackler. She's tackler. Immediate
Cox Edge
action.
goes in. Here comes Savage, or is that Smith? I think it was Charmaine Smith in jersey 6. Here's Savage at first receiver there. She shows some side steps and then goes into the contact. This all coming from the big hit from Renee Wycliffe earlier. Lovely short ball to Natua. Now out to Goss. Now Cox Edge. Out to Brazier. One more. And in goes Waka. Stacey Waka gets her second international try. And the 21-year-old gets New Zealand second as well.
That was excellent, wasn't it? Just putting it through the hands there in the end. Took quite a bit of skill. But look at that tackle, and the difference between these two teams at this point is this line speed defence. And in the end, it's that skill, just that basic straighten up and pass, which gets a good try to whack up. And I think Cox Edge, when she got it there, she thought, oh, maybe I can go myself. But lucky for her, she did get the ball away. And Brazier gave a good pass too. Yeah, I'm just really liking that line speed on defence for the Black Ferns. That's a difference at the moment between them and Wales.
Warm. No, I'm fine, mate, thank you. Cheers.
Once again, the Black Ferns turning defence into attack. On that occasion there it was a tackle, and it was a beauty from Wycliffe on young Jasmine Joyce. Kendra Cox Edge brings in and strikes it nicely. Just falling under the bar. 10-0, 23 on.
Yeah, it's been great. Once again, Zabriskie Nafatali involved. Lovely ball from Natua. The forwards working well in the backs. Waka,
Really good
one
on
of the
time.
stars
Make
from
sure they stay
Waikato,
behind again. Okay.
had most
Really
of
good.
last year out injured, so it's great to see
Make
her
sure
back
time
on the
is really good
international
so far.
scene.
Okay, thank you.
New Zealand have made 244 metres. Wales just 38. That pretty much tells you why they lead by 10 points to 0, but you wouldn't think that from the way Wales have just been getting up and making the tackles. Really asking questions of this New Zealand team. Was that knocked forward? No, says the ref. Now the offload, but that's gone forward.
That went forward, it went forward.
One thing Wales are doing really well is trying to upset that
Scrum.
tackle ball / ruck ball of the Black Ferns. Now they're really throwing their bodies in there. It's making it difficult
Just wait for me
for the
signal
forwards
to
to
go,
clear them out because
please.
they
Wait for me
come
to
in
signal, I'll give you a signal to
and
put
have
the
a
ball in.
second go at
Just
it.
don't go early.
So they're in a good position of attack now, Wales. They've been standing deep in the pocket for a lot of their attack. I think they need to vary it here and try and hit the line flat up.
Perfect, thank you. Thanks, good. Crouch!
One of the stars of the future wears jersey number 9, the 20-year-old
Set!
Keta Bevan
Wait!
from Swansea. Scrum is there, and it's a tight head. New Zealand win it. Savage picks up and takes the ball off the back.
Ball's
You don't see
available.
too many of those in international rugby. Cox Edge goes in to fight for it. Gets it out now to Smith, who just transfers the pass and goes into support. Working in tandem with the New Zealand forwards now.
Stop one! Okay,
Zabriskie
fine, thanks.
Nafatali kicks and Woodman chases. Getting back is Evans. Evans looks up and Evans puts on the afterburners. Breaks through, does Evans, and gets to the halfway. Great run from the left winger. They move it out to the left-hand side, and here goes Thomas. Thomas, what a run from the loose head prop. Woodman looked to try and steal it, but Wales still have possession. Counter ruck in from New Zealand.
It's a good counter.
They've walked over the ruck, and they've got the ball. Cox Edge with the kick and chase now. Wales players, there's plenty of them getting back. Taylor will beat Winiata to the ball. Now coming in as Wood. They pick and go to Wales after racing to get back to secure possession. Not sure if that was a good option considering it was a turnover and New Zealand had plenty of players out to the left. Bevan
Use it!
still using the forwards into Farmasili. And also Natua. Now back deeper into the pocket. The nice kick from Snowsill down to where Portia Woodman is. Stand by, because if you're going to kick, you better make sure that you got your chase line, and you better make sure you make your tackles. They've done just that on Winiata. Coxedge gets it out to Blackwell. She gets it out one wider. Good tackle, that one made by Hannah Jones.
Scrum, team going forward, ball
down on the floor, and so
scrum, team going forward.
Tremendous play from both teams. Plenty of action in the opening 27 minutes of this test.
Isn't it great to see? You know, that initial break from Wales off the kick return was excellent. There's Natua. Just have a look here how the Welsh defensive players, the lock there, row gets through. That's what I'm talking about, how Wales are very effective at slowing that ball down for New Zealand. It's a great tactic.
If you're a Welsh supporter, wherever you're watching around the world, I hope you're enjoying our coverage here, because it has been tremendous. It's been courageous, defiant on defence, and they've had very little possession and territory.
Bind! Pressure for the mark.
Well, the penalty, and so Coxedge taps quickly, goes out to the right-hand side. Winiata gets it out to Woodman. They know what a threat she is, and they make the first up tackles again.
Yeah, she's always flirting with the sideline there, Woodman.
Red line, please.
Not a lot of space. Great defence once again from the Welsh girls.
How many
Winiata giving a lot of passes. She usually attacks quite a bit herself, so it's good to see her doing that. I'd predict at some point she'll throw the dummy in somewhere.
Let's see if that's a better throw. It's not straight again.
Outside arm.
So there you go, the outside arm. It was never down the middle of the line out. They'll go for the line out though, because they're having problems at the scrum, and now this is not a good sign for the New Zealanders in the opening match.
Yeah. Look, I think Fiatwa Farmasili, the captain, she does so much work around the pitch, including running the ball up, that by the time she gets to this set piece, she's probably a little fatigued. She needs to reset herself and try and stay focused. And there is a bit of wind, as I said before.
Taylor balks a couple, then gets up. What a player. The 34-year-old has been in this match 2 World Cups in 2010, 2014, and then she gets the win for her team, and they start to rumble forward, Wales. Here they come. Taylor gets involved again, and they get the penalty. Oh, that's tremendous play. They've got massive hearts, the Welsh. They might trail by 10. The crowd are certainly encouraging them.
Yeah, Wales had more numbers in that rolling more than New Zealand. New Zealand forwards needed to adjust and hit it 8 and 8. But they didn't, and it's an area of work on for them.
Her 63rd cap. She's a rugby coordinator.
How many?
And Taylor, who had her debut around 2009, was at the 2010 and 2014 World Cup, her 3rd World Cup. And what a half an hour of rugby she has had. What an impact she's made. Even though they trail by 10, this time she takes it in the middle and gets it cleanly. They've certainly studied the Black Ferns, have Wales, and they know that this is an area that they feel that they can dominate, and they're starting to rumble. Wales get just outside the 22. Bevan clears it, throws the dummy. Now they get into the 22 for the first time in the match. Snowsill comes in to play halfback. Thomas carries the ball forward, does so strongly.
Wait. God, thank you.
They wait, Bevan gets there. Snowsill throws a dummy to a decoy runner, gives it back to Hannah Jones, who was a little deeper. Nafatali tries to hold her up. Now they've got to release her. Best passage of play, best chance for Wales. Down the right-hand side, out to Jones. Jasmine Jones, given some space, steps inside. It's quickly cleared. Snowsill gets it out one wider to Evans, the tight head prop. Racing to get there is Bevan. Wales now in real scoring opportunity. Snowsill with a pass out to Jones. Along it comes to Roland. Jones doubles, and now out to Howell. Dufke Howell looks for some runners. Now they pop it up. Good channel, good tackle from Goss on Butchers. Butchers still has possession. Now they fight. Nafatali's there. Sabritsky Nafatali asked to roll away. Too slow. Here comes the penalty. Great passage of play. It's been lost forward. And she's lost it forward. Has Kira Bevan.
Scrum.
Scrum to New Zealand.
Great passage of play from Wales, wasn't it? That continuity ball. They had variation of where they were hitting it on the advantage line or deep and putting it out wide. We saw some lovely hands there from their captain Phillips as well out to the wing. Beautiful. They really did have the New Zealand defence under pressure. New Zealand wasn't numbering up.
Just wait for it, okay? Thank you. No, I'm not.
The most metres made by a Welsh player. Where's jersey number 1?
Crouch.
Carly Thomas has run for 22 metres, and I'll tell you what, they're valuable metres. Solid set piece, and Savage takes it off the back, runs into Bevan, who tackles and brings it to the ground. Coxedge gets in quickly. The forwards now have come from the scrum and wrapped around. They got isolated there at Blackwell, but they finally arrived, and now Wales look like they've walked over the top and stolen it. Or was that a ruck? Some might suggest. But they've got possession. Bevan at the snowsill to the line. Jones into Sabritsky Nafatali. They've got some forwards out to the left, and here she comes again. Thomas, this time she passes. Wales on the attack. Howell. They try and hold her up. Does their tuna.
Release.
Now they've got a release. Wales playing with some real spirit. Butcher goes to work. Butchers goes 7 short. Wales with a real opportunity. They go in close. Down Main Street. Now the pick and go here from Wales. First opportunity, they're 3 short. Butchers again. She's gone 2 short. Bevan wants it. They've got numbers out to the left. That's where they're going. Real chance. Through the dummy did Snowsill. And it's been lost forward from one of the Black Ferns. So an advantage here for Wales. Here comes Clay. Wales again. Pick and go. Farmasilli holds her up. Now they fight for possession, and they'll get the scrum.
JD, same angle as you. For me, it's in the tackle.
Wow, Wales have got the Kiwis under all kinds of pressure. The pick and go is working for them really well. But here, Portia Woodman saved the day big time. Outside in Putarama, that ball needed to be far quicker from Snowsill to her players outside, although it was overrun by Jones. They had the opportunity right there for the taking, but they're looking good, so close, attacking on their own try line. Fab stuff.
Kev, yeah, go ahead, man.
Big question here will be, Mel, for me, as I think that they're checking if that was a deliberate knockdown, then Portia Woodman could be going to the bin. And I think that's what they're just asking here, because he's saying it was knockdown. Does the referee.
Okay, back to you.
That's what they want to have a look at. And so prior to the match, Wales had been written off as World Cup no-hopers. Here, is that a deliberate knockdown?
Oh, her eyes were on
the images are on the screen here.
The ball player, right? She was looking to make the tackle, and her movement was going through. Oh, it's a tough one.
One more angle for me, Begsy, please.
Yes, bringing up the second angle now.
Yeah. Kev, from what I'm seeing on the screen, I'm happy with the original decision that she's in close proximity to the ball carrier, and she attempts to wrap to make the tackle, and the ball goes forward off her arm.
That's fine. Play on.
Okay, so no foul play, scrum.
Yeah, good decision. Well done. So New Zealand escape with just
the
knock
in the
on.
tackle, it goes forward to scrum. No foul play.
Now, what's Wales going to do here? I would predict they won't go wide because it's their pack that's really setting up the play for them now.
Oh, the problem that they have, Mel, is that they've had a tight hit against them at scrum time. And now that they're 5 out, you'd expect that New Zealand are going to put the squeeze on once again. I know that backs love to talk about what they're going to do, but if you can't win your scrum, you're going to struggle in the game of rugby. I'd say they just get it out of here as quick as they can.
Set!
Oh, Sarah Goss didn't have her shoulder fully on the scrum there. Inexperience. And the New Zealand captain, she's only recently converted to open side. She used to play schoolgirls and provincial rugby in the backs, and that is a basic.
Well, it's a basic, and it's also just said to me, you don't know what you're talking about, because here I was saying they're struggling at scrum time, and on that occasion, they really asked questions of New Zealand.
I think New Zealand were looking to promote it on the loose head side, which is the right tactic.
Well, Wales need to score here.
Crouch!
They've got to now get some valuable points for the territory that they are dominating over the last 5 minutes. Points are everything at World Cups. And there's that scrum I was talking about. New Zealand put the squeeze on, they take it off the back. Here goes Harries. Harries goes around 3 short. The backs come in to help, but they've gone straight to ground. Straight off their feet.
Hey, away you go, away you go. Number 9 off feet.
Yeah, that's good refereeing that.
I've tried to manage, I've asked over there, number 4.
I just gave a referee a compliment. Oh my goodness, hey?
Yeah, where you are, please.
A fine touch to New Zealand. They'll get the feed to the line out, but here you can see that Harries gets taken in, and Bevan just went straight off her feet here to secure possession. You can't do that. Bang.
Arrive up for me. Up.
Eked out some good meters though, didn't she? Such a powerful runner, as I was saying beforehand. Sarah Goss that time, really good work on defence.
That's a better line out from New Zealand. Smith goes high and brings it down, and now New Zealand show that they can also maul at this level. They walk forward, they've got good body position. Now they splinter, and through the middle goes Farmasili. Throws the dummy, and then eventually throws the ball taken there by Etunu, who was alongside her, and now the backs want it. Sabritsky, Nafatali to Brazier. Now Waka. Waka puts on the afterburners. Winiata, one more pass. Guess what? Here comes another. Great try to Wycliffe. It's the W's getting the job done for New Zealand. First one, Winiata, then Waka, and now it's Renee Wycliffe who gets her name on the score sheets.
Oh, Farmasili going straight through that maul. She was originally at the back. It opened up. Great support work from Natua, the prop, who's been extremely busy. And once again, the strength of New Zealand. And Waka here, she can take a lot of credit for that, because she hit the hole, straightened up, gave the perfect pass to Winiata, who knew she had Wycliffe open on her left-hand side. Great try, and they're really performing well out wide so far, New Zealand, aren't they?
How much of it? Well, a disappointment and a confidence breaker is that for the Welsh team that did so well to spend so much time in that 22 and to come away with nothing.
Yeah, well, I think that this World Cup will be won by a team not just with great set pieces or not just with great structure, but with the magic. And we know that teams like England and New Zealand do have that X factor. Other sides have to believe in themselves that they can also attack like that, because they've got the athletes.
Looking to try and convert her first, and difficult conditions, as we've mentioned, and 0 from 3 from Kendra Coxedge. But just have a look at the ball movement and have a look at the lines that they run. That's where they go straight in there. Waka, Winiata, Wycliffe.
And let's just remind people that those players you saw on screen there are all professional, full-time sevens athletes. So no wonder they've got the skills to do that.
A restart coming in to take it was Wood, but she's lost it forward, and now Wales might have the last chance before half-time. They will get another chance here just before the break.
That was a really good kick by Wales. Nice and short on the 10 metre. The chase was excellent from the pack as well. They deserved that turnover. Chance your arm, Wales. Put it out wide. Give it to that speedy winger you've got.
Bind.
Of course, Jasmine Joyce
Wait.
was at the Olympics with Team Wales. Yeah, they finished
It's
fourth.
straight out the tunnel this side.
Team GB.
Easy,
Team
easy.
GB, that's right.
Break up. Same ball. Straight
She
out
was
the
one of
tunnel
those
to reset.
surprise picks. No one really knew a lot about her because obviously
out the
Wales
tunnel.
weren't on the world circuit, but man, she's been great.
Thank you. Which one? Okay. Shoulders, please. Shoulders out. Shoulders, please. Thank you. Yeah. Crouch. Bind.
And the
Pre-engage.
penalty indirectly, they tap and go. Harries gets it. Shawnette Harries gets it out now to Bevan. New Zealand will try and show them the sideline, and Wales want to get over the try line. Now they go again out to Butchers. She's been fabulous. Butchers gets it now into Taylor. The show and go from the open side flanker. The pick now from Phillips, the captain, to Snowsill. Runs across, gives it back to Jones. Gets the welcoming committee from New Zealand. A couple of the forwards with the low numbers on their back.
Too slow.
Bevan gets it. Snowsill. The missed pass out to Roland. Walker up to make the tackle quick. They loop around. Here comes Thomas. The intercept. Wycliffe. Shut the gate, mama. Jones is after her. Wycliffe will just get there. The speed from Joyce was unbelievable. And Renee Wycliffe picks up a double.
The anticipation, she predicted it was going to go to Joyce, and she was there, Renee Wycliffe. A lovely intercept. You see the pain on her face right now. She's got to run all the way, what was it, 60 metres or so. And Joyce, super quick. So Renee Wycliffe had to put the little shimmy on the end to shake her off. But what a try there by New Zealand.
Renee Wycliffe,
No, we're going to stay out, mate.
27th cap, her 60th point in internationals, and the whole team ran up to celebrate with her. They knew just exactly what that meant just before the break. And poor old Kelly Thomas, loose head prop. She thought that she was doing the right thing there. Kendra Cox-Edge looking to try and get her first for the afternoon. She can't do so.
Nope.
And New Zealand have scored 4 tries to 0 as we head to the break with a scoreline of New Zealand 20, Wales 0. Oh, what a first half that's been, Melody Robinson. In particular, the work from Wales. They don't deserve to be behind by 20.
Yeah, I don't think the score is indicative at all at how tight.
Good to go, thank you. Wales. Thank you. Time on, please.
Kendra Cox-Edge for New Zealand will get the second half underway. And she kicks straight down the middle of the park. The sun starts to break through, and the Red Dragons will be hoping that they can get some of that sun and some of that fire into the second half, and they get the first penalty from referee Ian Tempest from England. He's been terrific in the matches, let the game flow. He's been accurate and he's been precise. And that's why they bring the best to the Rugby World Cup. The best referees, the best players are here. And that hasn't found touch. So New Zealand have possession. Out to now Sabritsky. Nafatali sees some space. Kicks it. Really just kicks it into the hands of Howell. What a player she has been. It's cleared. One off as Evans did a lot of that. Let's run into the shoulder, and now the turnover there. Farmasili thought that she had stolen it, but she hasn't. Just those little errors too, Mel, not finding touch from a penalty.
Yeah, their open play kicking game hasn't really gone their way, New Zealand. They're a side that prefers to pass the ball around between forwards and backs.
You're both on free kicks.
It's one of those things that teams like England do very well.
So let's work with me now. That's fine.
This, the 8th edition of Women's Rugby World Cup. And if you want to get in contact with us through social media, of course, the hashtag WRWC2017. And there, the other hashtag that you can see on the screen. And on the field, there is hashtag Bring It. And these two sides have certainly brought it in the opening 42 minutes of this test.
Set.
Bevan feeds it. That's a good scrum
Stay square.
from the Welsh, and they do stay square. And it's just been lost forward there from Sinead Harries. She's a PE teacher in her 45th cap. Sets high standards, and that was a difficult scrum to try and pull the ball out of.
Oh, and big celebration from the pack there for New Zealand. They've done a lot of work on this area.
Last one was
Their
really good.
first test match against Canada in June, they were pushed back at scrum time, big time. So some fantastic strides in that area for the girls in the black jersey.
Crouch.
The hardest job for us in the commentary today is trying to think of who's going to be the Aon player of the match, because there's been a number of players
Time off.
who've certainly put their
here we
hand
go.
up. The referee's going to have a little chat here
Okay, nice and clear, and we let it get the bind.
to the front rows, but
Let's go.
there's been some real standout players in the opening 43 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I really like Puka Natua, the number 1 for New Zealand. She's been super busy. And for Wales, of course, their young winger and Jasmine Joyce, and also Ellen Evans, her defence has been just incredible.
New Zealand get the scrum, and now the jitters as well. So Wales will get the advantage from the lost ball forward from Sabritsky Nafatali.
Knock on.
You don't see that too often from Victoria Sabritsky Nafatali, the 25-year-old. Normally so calm in that first 5 position.
Yeah, let's have a look here. I think she was thinking about what she was up to after she caught the ball. Very easy to do. I like it how she moves onto it though. Hardly ever stands deep.
The breeze has died down just a little, and
Crouch.
really it's ideal conditions for a World Cup. The sun is shining.
Set.
Nothing better than sun on the back when you're playing rugby. It's cleared by Bevan to the left, and
Stop.
that looks like it's been overcooked as well, and yes, it has. Guthy Howell just overcooking it. She's a university lecturer, is the 28-year-old, and we sometimes forget just the vocations that these women have, Mel, and there is a lot of intellectual property running around that field.
Yeah, there's some great stories behind a lot of these athletes because they are amateur. All got some pretty interesting jobs. Doctors,
JD, hold the ball, please.
mechanics, all kinds of things.
PE teachers, detectives, firewomen, policewomen. New Zealand have possession through Cox edge out to Nafatali, throws the dummy, gets it out to Woodman. That was meant to go to Winiata, instead it goes to Wycliffe. Has already scored 2 tries in this game, has Renee Wycliffe. Ball is slow, which means that the defence from Wales is able to rush up, but Farmasili does really well to just cart the ball and get it towards the gain line. Cox edge gets some forwards. Now it's out to Natua. She gets it out to Itunu. Cox edge lost it forward. So just been put under pressure are the New Zealanders, and the Welsh are really challenging at the breakdown.
Yeah, they really are. They've been good in that area. Just putting extra bodies in, making sure the Kiwis know they're there. Just see the body position of some of the Black Ferns players, the forwards, just a little bit high at times as well. And that also means the ball is not as quick as it could be. But, you know, you've got to say, after a very torrid first half, 40 minutes, there'll be some fatigue hitting these girls too.
New Zealand went unbeaten in an era that is hard to talk about. They've only lost 2 games at the Rugby World Cup. The first was a match in the semis against the USA by 7 points to 0, and then they lost to Ireland in the 2014 Rugby World Cup.
Advantage, playing 9.
And Ireland are going to get the penalty.
Playing the 9. Playing the 9.
Yeah, that was on Sabritsky Nafatali.
They want to get on with it to Wales, and Thomas goes for some more valuable meters. This time it's Butchers. Alicia Butchers, she's only 20, and she's a 5x60 officer is her profession, which means that she goes to 5 different schools talking for 60 minutes about the great game of rugby. As Evans goes on the charge, out to Joyce. Jasmine Joyce does well to stay in field. Great strength shown from the young left winger. Great depth here from the Welsh. They've gone backwards, and now New Zealand have come forward. That's the halfway line you can see. Quickly cleared again by Bevan. They use some decoy runners out to Howell. Howell steps off the left foot, then throws it out to Evans. Evans on Woodman. Counter ruck comes in from New Zealand. Wales still have possession. The pop pass on the inside to Butchers has gone forward.
Double knock on first by Red. Knock on Red and then by Black.
Adventurous play there from Rowe, trying to get the ball on the inside to the blindside flanker. And it's just been lost forward.
He wasn't quite ready for it, was she? Good passing, good continuity. Yeah, I guess the ball was a little forward as well. Not quite in the hole where the blindside wanted to hit.
Time off, please.
And of course, great work there by
Let's go.
Wood.
Time on, let's go.
Right there, ready to mark up.
Water off, please. Time's on. Let's go.
Here, Tunu.
Does she need treatment? Thank you. Scrum.
Don't forget all the highlights you can see on the videos, the facebook.com/World Rugby. And there it is, rwcwomens.com. Of course, you can always follow us on Twitter and Instagram at World Rugby. And there are the hashtags as well. Hashtag WRWC 2017.
Set.
20-0 was the half-time score. We've gone 9 minutes. And New Zealand look to work it outside their own half. They bring Brazier in at first receiver and now look to go a little wider out to Wycliffe. Gets it out to Winiata. Winiata with the kick, the bump and run. If she gets the bounce, they'll struggle to catch her. Getting back is Taylor. Again, there's Taylor. Rachel Taylor getting back the open side flanker. Then Pixon goes forward, saves a certain try there. Bevan has it, gets it back into the pocket. The pressure comes in, and now Howell had no other option but to run. It's been ripped forward, or ripped out by a New Zealander.
It was ripped back by New Zealand.
So there you heard it from the referee. And what about the skill set from Salika Winiata?
Well, it was from Wycliffe first, wasn't it? The no-look pass, because she knew that Winiata had wrapped and just gave a perfect ball. Lovely kick through. If she had had a little bit more luck with the bounce. See this there, that was great work from the fullback. She knew the New Zealand defence was up.
First line out of the second half.
Lads, get him.
And it's the Welsh feed. Again, it's Taylor, and guess what? She's on the money.
Maul.
Rachel Taylor brings it down from her captain, Phillips. And they're going to look to maul here. New Zealand body positions are way too high. And now they've collapsed that maul, and Wales will get the penalty.
Just one point about
it's not every time.
This Welsh line out.
One side entry.
It's pretty much gone to Rachel Taylor most of the time. So I think for New Zealand, they need to identify that and maybe throw somebody up in the air at least once to see if they can steal the ball from her. Just see where she goes. But they have to get better in that area. I guess I'm not too worried about giving away a penalty at this part of the ground. There it is there, coming in from the side.
Right, 2, quicker with the ball in.
Captain gets it into her again, so 100% continues. Bevan out to Snowsill through the dummy and goes into the contact. Forwards get there quickly. Bevan again out to the left. Here comes Amy Evans.
Tackle!
Amy Evans in the tackle of Nafatali. Some dummy runners in again. It's out to where the back line want the ball. Joyce gets it out to Taylor. Inside the Black Ferns half into the 10-metre line. Now they slowly work it back through the forwards. Bevan goes in, the pop pass off the ground. This is where they've got him to trouble, the Welsh. And Brazier looks and seizes the opportunity. How's her football skills? They're better than average. They're brilliant. To Woodman. All the W's are scoring. Portia Woodman gets another for the Black Ferns.
Unfortunate for Wales. That pass went into no man's land, but Kelly Brazier. Let's have a look here. So, ball to nobody. Sabretsky Nafatali was up, and so was Brazier. She is a very good kicker, Kelly Brazier. Managed to get the bounce as well. And look at that vision to see Woodman on her outside. She could have finished it herself, arguably, but she gave it to a flying winger who's a perfect finisher.
1 year, 2 days ago, Portia Woodman was standing on the podium in Rio de Janeiro with the silver medal around her neck. And 1 year, 2 days later, she is scoring a try at the Women's Rugby World Cup.
She was actually crying too, by the way. She wasn't a very happy girl about getting silver.
Kendra Cox-Edge looking to try and move her tally in international rugby to 165. And again, she's pushed it to the left, but Portia Woodman is a great finisher, but Kelly Brazier is an architect and she's a genius.
Yeah, she was actually born in England. You can take credit if you want, but she grew up in New Zealand and she owns the records for point scoring in both club and also provincial in New Zealand. She's taken a lot of time off 15s for 7s, but this is her first love, playing the 15-a-side game, and she's just beautiful at it.
12 gone in the second half. Wales yet to open their account. That's been lost forward from Eloise Blackwell. Pressure there first from Evans, just running a line. Didn't touch it first, and so Wales will get the possession.
They've done really well in this area, haven't they, Wales? Just those short kicks. It's a mindset thing when you receive the kickoff. You've got to really own it, really claim it, mentally prepare yourself that you're going to have the red jersey running onto you.
To your side of the scrum? Yeah, no, good. It's good.
Just a hand injury there to one of the Black Fern players, but mentioned it earlier in the commentary that Wales had been written off as the World Cup no-hopers by the bookies ahead of this opening game against the New Zealand Black Ferns. The bookmakers Betway, they had Wales as rank outsiders and at 200 to 1 to win the tournament. Not this game, but the tournament.
Yeah, they're certainly better than that, Wales.
Absolutely, they're better than that. And they've shown this New Zealand team that if you're not prepared and you don't come with right attitude, that you're going to be in for a hard match, and that's exactly what they've done, Wales.
A lot of chat there from Captain Fiat'ofa Maseli to her forwards.
Scrum.
Encouragement. See, Carlo. No, that's Teresa Fitzpatrick. She's one of the New Zealand Sevens players as well.
Canada and Hong Kong, the other two teams in this pool, and if Wales can play as well in those other two matches that they have here today,
set.
Amazing what could happen. Scrum, the ball is fed again. It's a tight hit to New Zealand. Savage off the back, full back line out to her left, but she goes into the contact. Does Aroha Savage. Now Cox-Edge gets it out to Sabretsky Nafatali. Brazier straightens it to Waka. Waka shows some footwork, gives it back to Winiata. And Wales are there. They might get the turnover. No, they'll get the penalty. New Zealand, no clear release. That's tough on Gemma Rowland.
6 tacklers clearly come off and go back on ball.
Well, she was the second tackler. She needed a release, didn't she?
And now New Zealand wanting to get on with it quickly. This is Etunu. Older sister is Linda, who I'm sure will have some game time in the next match. And there's the step that we talked about from Sabretsky Nafatali. Cox-Edge gets it back to the first 5. Stay strong. Looks for the support. It finally arrives. And now Cox-Edge looks out to the left. Says, get out that way.
Use it.
Now they've got to use it. The forwards are there. Goes a little wider out to Natua. She's been good with ball in hand. Cox-Edge again out to the left. Goss. Lovely pass there from Waka to the double try score in the first half. Wycliffe. New Zealand go one wider out to Wood. Becky Wood, the 30-year-old yesterday, goes 4 short. And now it's Sabritsky Nafatali.
Tackle, come on!
Can't get there. Forwards go to work. They'll get the advantage of the players not being onside. Pick and go over the line. Great reward for Eloise Blackwell. They rolled up the sleeves of the Black Ferns and they got the job done. And finally, someone in the forwards has crossed the line.
Yes, the backs have had all the chocolate so far today. So Eloise Blackwell, the workhorse that she is, picked up the ball there. The pick and goes. It was a lovely hit by Sabritsky Nafatali, who'll be subbed off very shortly. And just see, they're reloading themselves. The forwards there, picking it up, so close to the line. There's no way they were giving that out to the backs.
You wouldn't see a game where Kendra Coxedge has never converted from 5, and that's what she's done here. I'm going big here, Mel, because I'm saying she's going to get it.
She would be very disappointed in herself if she couldn't kick one from here. She's a total of 769 first-class points. Very impressive.
There we go.
3 red, please.
Now she's on the board.
3 red, please. Wales
And New Zealand, who led 20-0 at the break,
send the replacement on, please.
have extended that to 32 points. Some changes from the bench as well.
Time off, please. 10, please hold the ball. Time off, I'm being told. I'm not sure why, but
So if Teresa Fitzpatrick is on, that means
15,
Kelly Brazier
please.
goes into
15
10.
red. 15.
Sabritsky Nafatali gets a well-earned break.
Some changes for the Welsh as well. York comes on in 18, replacing Amy Evans. And also Haki George, the young 17-year-old, who when they named the team for this tournament, she was winning a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Youth Games in the Bahamas. Wow, what a moment for the George family. Congratulations. So New Zealand have possession out to Goss. Goss feeds and then stays in support. New Zealand pushing the defenders across and they go the same way. This is Wood. Used to putting out fires and she's been starting a few in this game as Natua takes it a little wider. Quickly it's cleared. And then the pass and the support play again is good from the Black Ferns.
Ball's available.
6 phases from the restart. Brazier. This is Fitzpatrick with her second catch of the ball.
Ball's out, ball is out.
Ball is out, and so Coxedge had to go back, and now Brazier, the little grubber kick along the ground. Winiata gets there quickly. Winiata gets the ball and the defender at the same time. She got isolated, though.
That's holding on.
And that is tremendous play, and I think it's Melissa Clay, the 27-year-old, who had all rights to the ball.
Yeah, Evans involved again. Wonderful work. Winiata just needed to either pass it, have a bit of support, but, you know, the kick was brilliant from Kelly Brazier.
For me.
Wales live again.
Yeah. Time off. 4, please.
Well, Mount, what a moment for this young 17-year-old. Can you imagine that? 17 years old,
11 and number 8.
winning a bronze medal, and now she's at the Women's World Cup, standing in the back line, getting ready to hopefully achieve something very special. 17, what a career she has in the game.
How many? 5.
The wonderful thing about being 17 is you have absolutely no fear.
5.
We're asking the wrong person. I'm too old to remember what it was like to be 17. This time Taylor isn't the target because she goes forward and then they throw to the back. So the variation is good. Snow still takes it to the line. And again, they go one wide of the tackle made from McMenamin on jersey 20 for New Zealand. Now they bounce back towards the left. Here goes Evans. Evans goes through the gap. Great run from Ellen Evans. Wales now looking a little stronger. Great run again from Thomas. She came from, she almost came from the car park to get that. Jones takes it, the 19-year-old reserve. on in 16. Now some decoy runners, and that looked dangerous as well. Waka thought that she may have been in for another intercept for the New Zealanders. Bevan gets it to the right, they go. Taking the ball from one side of the field to the other now. Here comes Butchers. Butchers has done well. Butcher gets it now, Bevan has it.
Penalty only?
So a penalty here, and it's a penalty only.
Deliberate knock on.
The deliberate knock on. And the play from Wales today has been exceptional. The scoreboard does not indicate how close this game has been.
Is that the person who's down? Okay,
20
off,
remains in this half.
Yeah, you can make a change if you want.
And they're going to make some changes as well.
Okay, that's fine. Send her on then, please. If that's
Well, that's the sad thing about the great game of rugby, is that the scoreline hasn't reflected how much effort has come in from this Welsh team.
Clearly a penalty only, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. They've had some good possession, some good phases.
This player's been
They've been quite accurate.
He's number 3, so when you're ready, but there's no rush.
You know, maybe the difference between these two teams might have been the power that the forwards from the Black Ferns have exerted in terms of how they pass the ball and they make more metres. You can see that Aotearoa Matau is on, number 18 for New Zealand. She is a very powerful athlete in terms of her stature, so I'm really interested to see how she goes, because she actually wasn't in the series in June, but she's worked her way back into the team. Great to see her there.
Katie Matau, the 20-year-old out of Ardmore Marist.
Put the time on until she's off. Okay, send
This
her
is
on,
her sixth
and I'll
cap.
send 9 off.
She scored a try as well, so
Yeah, that's fine. She's going.
she really can bring an impact from the bench.
9 change, please. 9 change. Judge needs to wait for 3 to leave the field.
Shuan Moore comes on, and she'll go into the halfback, replacing Kira Bevan, who's had a tremendous day at the office. So there you go, there's Moore.
Time on, deliberate knock
She
on.
is the personal trainer, that 28-year-old. And so changes made from both teams. This the opening game in Pool A for these two countries. New Zealand have won the Rugby World Cup in 98, 2002, 2006 and 2010.
Not in the air.
And during that era between 2002, in fact, from 98 through to that, they won 20 games consecutively. And there's nothing wrong with the Welsh line-out. They win the ball and quickly get it to Jones. Hannah Jones on the attack. Wales, they go a little wider. This is Harries. Harries is over! Tremendous try for the Welsh. No one deserves it more than Sinead Harries. And Wales are 2 points away from 500 in Rugby World Cups.
Look at the variation on the line out. You'd expect them to go to the rolling ball. They didn't. They gave it to Harries, and ready to strike there was Hannah Jones. Hit it really well, and then back to that big, powerful runner and Harries, who actually started the whole movement. I love that variation from that line out. Well done.
This to take Wales to 500 points in Women's Rugby World Cup. Step up Eleanor Snowsill. And Wales have achieved a milestone in this game. 500 points, but more importantly, what a try.
Yeah, everything about it was well executed, accurate. The whole team knew where their target was to blow over that ruck, and it was just such quick, fast ball.
Make sure they're behind you, please. Time on. Clearly behind.
Kendra Cox-Edge kicks out to the left. Taken, and that brought the crowd to their feet, because they've worked hard, the Welsh team, on defence and also on attack. And there is Alicia Butchers, the young 20-year-old. Takes it forward. Some running ball out towards the right. They've got some numbers here as well. This is Phillips. Phillips throws the ball out to Joyce. Jasmine Joyce wanted it a little bit earlier. Still it's Wales' ball, so they're in possession here. Really finishing strongly, 20 to go. Now they use some decoy runners. They've got players. There's Taylor. Taylor gets it again out to Butchers. Wales playing with some real strength and some real whip. Evans just steps on the line though.
Touch.
Good play from right to left. Everybody involved.
Yeah,
some
6
real
men, please
razzle-dazzle
change.
from Wales.
Oh, it was great. Here's the end of it. Let's have a look. Oh,
6 men.
yeah, it was just a right foot there, just on the touch.
You show on the end
But
of
I
the line,
loved
okay?
how in the second
Yeah,
phase
just
when
let
they
replacement
brought
on.
it
Just
back,
hold the
the
ball, please,
forwards
Captain.
were involved in the middle. Usually
many?
they'd crash it up.
How
Instead,
many?
they wrapped around and gave that
5.
ball out wide.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Time on.
And there is that 17-year-old that we were talking about. She was born in the year 2000.
That's good.
So she's just come on for Wales, but New Zealand have possession. Brazier takes it to the line and gives it to McMenamin. Cox edges in quickly to Brazier again. Pass a little low, but then the pop up to Winiata. Winiata's gone! Scored 1 in the first, and now scores her second in the second half, and New Zealand hit 37.
Yes, they should be smiling, the fans from New Zealand, because that was the perfect midfield set by McMenamin, and then fast ball out to these vicious attackers. Brazier, Hohepa's on now, and Winiata changed her angle. You see that, just short ball, changed the angle, back on the inside. It was a straight, incisive run. Wonderful.
Winiata picks up a brace for the afternoon alongside Wycliffe. And a number of these players were in France in 2014. And there was one of them, and Kendra Coxedge, also Renee Wycliffe, and also Salika Winiata. So the trio who tasted disappointment when they were beaten by Ireland by 17 points to 14 are back, and they mean business.
Wales.
High restart down to where Wood takes the ball and gets Evans at the same time. Again, it's the New Zealand halfback that goes there and holding on.
You could have presented the ball, she's on her feet.
Yeah, no, and also the forwards there were far too slow
Holding
to
on.
get there to support Blackwell. They needed to get in, get their body positions lower and blow past the ball. They didn't help her out at all.
This competition is all about points for the rankings, and so
A little bit more, please.
Wales
you
will
where
be
you are now.
determined to
Okay.
try and increase
Full line, Wales.
that 7 to 14 if they can, and she's been good today.
No
Harris
obstruction.
Phillips, the 24-year-old, who was part of that Welsh team in 2014, has been very accurate and good around the field.
Yeah, she has been. She's a very big, powerful player as well, and the lineouts have been their strength.
And now they loop around and they give it back to the captain. That's been
Advantage.
lost forward, and so they'll get the advantage of the scrum here.
We have to check.
I love it how they pull these moves off the lineout. It's like we're
Time
back
off.
in sort of
Begsy, it's tempo.
1980 something.
Ian, we're going to bring this up now.
Yeah, bring it, put it
They're
forward,
going to have
please.
a look.
If it's deliberate, it'll be a yellow card. And they worked it around the front of the lineout as well.
Here it is now, Ian.
Harry's coming around, and that's where
She's in trouble.
Kendra Cox there just throwing the mid
Full
out.
angle on that for me, please, Kev.
Yes, we're just teeing it up again, Ian.
Yeah, I don't see how she's going to get away with that.
Phillips looking to try and pass the ball back to Harries, who gave her the
Here it is,
pass
Ian.
initially, and there's the... She's going to the bin.
Absolutely. She thought that her
Okay, Kev, can you give me a wide
teammate wasn't going to
picture
make
of
the
that, please?
tackle
We have it
there,
We'll
Farmasili,
bring
but
up the wide
Farmasili
angle
got
now.
there.
Thanks, mate.
She needed to focus in on that support player from Wales rather than the ball.
Is that a potential penalty try is the other question, Mel.
Here it is.
Harries would have been
Thanks,
tough to stop there, 5 out.
Oh, there is a defender there.
well? Okay, Begsy, I've got a decision on the angles I've seen.
Yes, go ahead.
So 9 black for me, it's a deliberate knock on because she's not in a position to realistically regather that ball. There is cover by black, so I'm thinking yellow card to black 9.
I agree.
And a penalty on the 5 metre line where the offence takes place.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Tremendous officiating here.
Close to the goal line.
Good communication between the TMO and the man in the middle, and Tempest, and he's got it spot on.
Time on, please.
If there wasn't a defender there, there was a potential penalty try, but here come Wales, and stand by, there's still plenty of time left on the clock.
Yeah, around 14 minutes. If they score a try here, we are on party time.
Phillips gets it in and they win it through Clay. Melissa Clay gets it. There's an advantage from an early tackle. And Wales go to work. They saw England do this against New Zealand. They roll the sleeves up to the forwards. They pile in, they keep the ball at the back. Clay has it. Clay's over! Another try for Wales! Melissa Clay scores for Wales. They've got their second. And that is the biggest scoreline they have ever registered against New Zealand.
Yep, that's their weapon, their strength. You see here, taken out before she hits the ground. That's where the penalty was given. You can see Natua is trying to organise the defence. But that prop there for New Zealand, Mato, her body position's too high. That defence from New Zealand completely fragmented. They needed to be bound together to have any chance to stop the momentum of that Welsh rolling maul. Great try, and we have got a game.
Well, the Black Ferns might have put the cue in the rack a little early here at the Crucible, because there is plenty of time to go in this game. 13 minutes, and Wales with an advantage in numbers, and certainly with confidence. Snowsill can't improve the angle, but changes have been made, and that's great execution.
Yeah, just sitting at the back there, nice and patient. A good team try, and very, very happy as well.
Last 12 minutes, guys, let's stay focused, yeah?
Yeah, everything that Wales did in that moment was right, and everything that New Zealand did there was wrong.
Stay behind, please.
New Zealand still have 8 minutes with 14 players. The high restart, it's gone backwards into Butchers. She's been tremendous, and in fact that was Shuan Lillicrap. Looks so alike.
No, you can't.
New Zealand have stolen the ball, and Brazier goes into play halfback, and now New Zealand just stands strong through Matau. Takes in 3 defenders. Brazier's gone into play halfback while Cox Edge is in the bin. Now Farmasili needs to clear out a body there, does so.
Play on.
But Wales have stolen it through George. George gets in and steals at the young 17, but then gives it back. And New Zealand through Natua. Here goes Smith. Another policewoman in this New Zealand side.
Advantage is now over.
Advantage is over. And here goes Matau. Been stolen, but now it's knocked back, and Wales have a real chance. That pass needed to be a little crisper and a little bit more accurate to Joyce.
First by Black, knock on.
I love the fact that Wales, their first instinct and their option is to attack Mal as opposed to just kick.
Yeah, it's been great, hasn't it? And they really need to at this point. You know, we're getting into, what, the last 11 minutes of the game. They must score tries, so they've got a chance there. You can just see with the New Zealand substitutions coming on, they're a little bit fragmented with how they're getting to those breakdowns, whereas the Welsh team still looks like a very good unit together.
Read an article where the Welsh coach, Roland Phillips, had said that they're building, and when you look at the average age and the age of some of these players that they've got in this team, a 17-year-old, a couple of 19-year-olds, 3 or so 21-year-olds, you can see exactly what he's talking about, and they are certainly not fazed by being on the big stage.
New Zealand's one down in the backs and defence. Got Kelly Brazier up there in that number 9 position.
Oh, no, listen. Scrums haven't been an issue all game. We're not going to make it one now, okay? Hold your weight, no early binds as well, please.
And the sleeve, sir?
Okay? We bind long. Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
but then don't just stand up. It's not been a problem all game.
Jodie Evans is in jersey 23, and she's got some real pace along with Robin Wilkins in 22, so the bench is cleared. They just need some space, and they've got 5 minutes to try and score more points before New Zealand returns to 15. The scrum, another tight head. Farmasili steals it. Brazier gets it out to New Zealand. Now they go on the attack. There's Hohepa and the tackler Jones.
Penalty advantage.
Penalty advantage for the tackle.
Penalty only for me, taking a support player. Tackling player off the ball, 14.
Yeah.
How big has the scrum been for New Zealand today, Mel?
Oh,
Play on.
absolutely massive. Well, this is interesting. They're speeding it up.
There goes Brazier, wants to get on with it.
Advantage.
They flip the pop pass,
forward.
rather. Didn't go to hands. Farmer-Silly was
Whistle,
certainly
stop.
through the gap. And that pass from
Yeah,
Natua
good
never
there.
went to hand.
Knock on.
I think when you're one man down, you're
Time off.
ahead by a lot, but
One
really
black,
they'd want to slow the
one
game
red,
down there. So
change.
probably the option of taking the kick would have been a better one for New Zealand there.
So Talawandua comes on for her third cap for New Zealand. And also Hale comes on in jersey 17 for
Guys, scrums
Wales.
have been good, so the pressure's on to keep them good for me, please.
Well, the
Little
Aon
more there.
player of the match, Mel.
Thank you.
And it's going to be difficult
Time
because there's been a number of players from both sides, and
Bind long, yeah? Bind long.
For New Zealand, number 17, Sasoli.
Thank you.
Number 1, Sasoli.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Wait!
Wales,
Wait!
with the replacement, will hope that they can get their own possession, and they've done a better job. That's a tremendous scrum off the back. Harries gives it a long, and now they'll just
Stop here,
kick
7, stop!
and ask questions, and coming forward quickly was Joyce. It's been knocked down by a New Zealand hand, and so Wales still in possession in their own half.
Somehow Wales have to work out how to get it to the left-hand side rather than that
Wales, how many?
side. They need to really
the hook and
use
then
the
the
numbers
shoelace.
that they have, and it's out on the edge.
Sorry, girls, we've got a shoelace at the front, okay? That's what the delay.
And a great moment for New Zealand winger Renee Wycliffe. She is our Aon
Thanks. Keep
player
going,
of the match, and she's really been involved in absolutely everything today.
Yeah, been pretty on perfect. Her defence was massive and huge. Her footwork, you know, when she was in trouble, she could use her steps to get back in, and she scored a couple of brilliant tries.
Well, Rachel Taylor has just won another line out, and she was not too far away from Wycliffe, but they've just bobbled and lost the ball forward there. And in the latter stages of this match, with fatigue and the concentration level's been a little bit lower,
Balls transferred, plays in front.
mistakes now
Absolute
starting
destruction.
to happen. But how good has Rachel Taylor been for Wales, the open
Lots here,
side
guys.
flanker?
Yeah, you know, a tower
Sorry,
of
two
strength
red change,
in that
two
line
red.
out.
Time
She's the
off.
one making
Well
the
played.
calls, it looks like, from here.
Okay, captain? Yeah.
But, you know, she's tall. Her aerial ability is very good.
Stay, we've got no hook
She's
left
been
there.
safe. The throw to her from her captain's been excellent as well. And it's been, you know, a platform they've been able to attack
Time
off.
on.
And she's also taken over the armband, and there is Renee Wycliffe. All smiles.
Crouch!
Aon player of the match, picked up a double, picked up a brace in the first half. And that intercept, well, it really did change the game. Brazier feeds the scrum, controlled in the back by McMenamin. And now they run the angles and they get it out to Woodman. Woodman beats one and then offloads. Woodman sets it up. Here comes the first hat-trick of the Women's Rugby World Cup for 2017. Salika Winiata gets it done.
Try scored for New Zealand, number 15, Salika Winata.
The inside channels were outstanding. Just look at the lines that they ran. They held up the defence. Woodman then made the space. And nobody was ever going to stop Salika Winiata when she got the ball. Top try scorer in 2014 with 6. And in the first game of this competition, she has opened her account with 3. A policewoman in New Zealand, you would never ever try and run away from her. Salika Winiata.
Fly in the eye.
Number 2, Hiao Kamasi.
And Kelly Brazier,
It's on its way up.
175 points in her international career. She looks on target, just short. But just look at the work from Woodman there. Beats one defender. And then Salika Winiata knows that if she can stay in support of Portia Woodman, she's going to get the rewards. New Zealand 7 tries in this game. And just over a minute left for the sin bin of Kendra Coxedge. That's why Kelly Brazier is in there, jersey number 12, playing halfback. Another good run from McMenamin from the Ponsonby Club in Auckland, New Zealand, does well to get over the gain line. That's good work from Ngata Aringamate. And now here goes Hohepa. And she's involved in the try scoring as well, because she was the top try scorer in 2010. New Zealand hit, spin and get over the advantage line. Brazier is there again. Smith pops the ball up to Blackwell, who picked up a try. Again, that time it's Fitzpatrick out to Hohepa. Winiata can't take it, but Woodman can, and ball's just gone forward. And there, Woodman showing just the sample of what she can achieve if given the chance. And New Zealand are now back to 15 players, I should say, with Kendra Coxedge returning from the sin bin.
Yeah, thanks, man. Okay? Yeah? Okay, perfect. We've got shoelace. Okay, let's go, boys. Little more.
No quietness. Let's go, CH, all day, all day.
Twos. Crouch.
Shuan Moore. Where's jersey number 21 for Wales?
Look, we need to have a space to crouch in. If we haven't got a space to crouch, we're going to be obviously pre-engaged, okay? Space to crouch, decent gap, please. Thank you.
Scrums have been good today from both sides. It's been a willing contest in that area of the game.
Thanks. Crouch.
New Zealand led at the break by 20 points to 0. Wales have responded with a couple of tries.
Set.
But New Zealand have continued to score 4 more tries in the second half. Moore with the feed. It sits there. They can't hook at it. And now they look to get out. Snowsill throws the ball out the back, and they use more decoy runners. That's gone forward from Jasmine Joyce. It's too much lateral running by the Welsh backline there. Someone needed to come a little straighter, because all they were doing there was just pushing the defence across the field. And so both teams now clearing the benches. Christina Sue, the teacher who attended Palmerston North Girls in her school days, now makes an entrance for the final 3 minutes of the game. New Zealand will be desperate to try and hit 50.
Set! Wait! 9.
Sue with the first touch of the ball in this, her World Cup campaign for 2017. Brazier back out at second 5. Lovely pass out to Winnie Arden, and she's dropped it.
Advantage!
What a pass from Fitzpatrick. Gave her some space, and now Wales get possession. Here comes Lillicrap out to the sideline, and ball has been lost forward, and so no real advantage for Wales. They'll come back for the scrum, and young student there, the 21-year-old Jasmine Joyce, wearing number 11 for Wales, is certainly a player with a bright future. There she is, just 21 years old at Cardiff MET. Represented the Sevens for Team Great Britain that came fourth at the Olympics in 2016.
Set! Wait!
Shuan Moore with the feed. Scrums collapse, and New Zealand will get the penalty. And there's the delight from the big New Zealand pack. Ball was hooked, and then the pressure just came on, and the scrum collapsed on the tight head side, and the referee had no other option but to award a penalty to New Zealand.
Perfect, thank you. How many black? Sorry?
New Zealanders are
full line.
slow to walk into the line out.
You need
They've
to
got to
keep
come
moving
in and set beforehand. And now they look to lift the jumpers. Smith couldn't get the ball. Once again, it's fallen into the hands of the Welsh. So a few work-ons there
Yes, that is
for the New Zealand line-out. But now Wales will look to try and finish as strong as they can. That was taken in by Wilkins. She got isolated, but she's kept a hold of the ball as Wilkins. Moore goes in and tries to clear it. Now she gets it. Out to the try scorer and Clay. Clay throws the ball, and they break through here. That's a good run from Jones. Hannah Jones, a young 19-year-old. They've been isolated. They've held on to the ball.
13, first lady in, on feet, all rights. Play on.
And New Zealand want to try and hit 50, and so they give it up to Matau. Matau offloads from the deck into referee's time now. The pick and goes through the middle. New Zealand looking for 50. It's been stolen from Wales, who have done a tremendous job. I think it was Hannah Jones initially. Referee says another
She needs
penalty.
to change her body position, off feet, sealing off.
Someone
Change your body
sealing
position.
off there, and I think it was great work from Hannah Jones. They'll learn from this. New Zealand tap and go. They want 50. Ball on the inside. Matau has lost it.
Back on.
They won't get the rewards, and that's it, says the referee. And the New Zealand Blackburns' road to redemption gets off to the perfect start with an emphatic win, beating Wales by 44 points to 12.
Well done, some great rugby. Well done, guys, some great rugby there, well done.
Hashtag bring it.